and we'll see who comes out on top. I would say, actually, believe it or not, NiP might be the favourites. They've had plenty of time to practice. Navi looking like they're dropping off as of late. Haven't been that impressed with their performances in the last couple of tournaments, but they are the reigning champions here at BLAST, so who knows? It's a different environment. It's a bit of a wild tournament with the format, a brutal best-of-1 round robin to kick things off, and it will be NiP looking to stun the CT side. It doesn't look like it's live, I'm afraid, but you can see NiP ready to go on the CT forces, and we'll see if we are good to go at this point. You see them jumping around, just getting themselves ready as we get ready for another epic best-of-1. It does have a lot of gravitas attached to it, Matt, because it's the fact best-of-1, so much result, so much weight on this one result, right?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think this is one of the games, these two teams could be the teams we see in the finals. Either of them, maybe both of them.
It's quite exciting, obviously, Navi being the reigning champions, and NiP, I think a lot of people have got them as kind of the, not necessarily underdogs this tournament, but they haven't been as exhausted as the other teams. They haven't been at every single tournament. They're always quite dangerous. They've had some time to prepare, and it's a map they've known for a week or so now. They've been ready for this. Overpass used to be a bit of their own home map, I guess, but Navi hoping to see some big things out of them. But it's players like Flamey, Edward, who haven't looked themselves recently, and that's going to be a bit of a problem here if NiP come out all guns blazing. We will see. We are ready to get things kicked off. NiP, with the purchases coming through, get rid of the smoke in the kit, and nothing too particular to point out for Navi. They've got a couple of smokes there. One Molotov suggested will be a B-side attack, then Molotov going towards barrels, smoke graffiti, and maybe even the bomb side itself. Here we go then, get themselves set up, no one towards middle, they have to commit pretty much right now, and there's the smoke for the barrels, getting all lined up here, and they make their full commitment with the Molotov deployed.
Behind the barrels, they'll still wait it out. Electronic finds the opener. He's got another follow-up as well as Flamey gets res, but keep in mind they're going to continue to push on. Edward trying to find Get Right. He's been sat there the whole time. Rather than staying by the barrels, he swings out wide of the smoke, finds this planter. Not more than that. Edward got him back, but bomb goes down temporarily. Dennis to contribute. Fortunately, they won't be able to do much more than that. Dennis gets found by Flamey, and Navi with the round.
Well, there it is. The B execution works out perfectly, and we will see Navi, as mentioned, drop that Molotov towards the barrels. The thing is, the CTs are ready for it. You can see that smoke deployed on top. Sure, it hides Get Right for a second. He manages to get one kill out of it, but they don't even have to worry about him. He's stuck in that smoke. They can focus on his rotating teammates. No bomb really required, and it will be the eco coming in from NiP. See the lovely bar there on the left. Doesn't fill up whatsoever. They haven't purchased really a thing here, so it should be a 2-0, no problem with rifles coming out in the third.
Flamey in the underpass position with the AK already drawn out. We do see AKs brought out at it is overpass. It's quite open. There's some corridors you're going to need the range. So not all SMGs. I admire that decision. I think that can catch you out quite quickly.
Yes. Considering
if you rush into close angles, you could still get overwhelmed by crossfires with pistols anyway. But essentially a full save on the CT side. I think onto Electronic as soon as he peeks. Luckily for him, he has the head arbor.
Expect a flash in that position, but luckily only the USP on the other side. So yes, the ding comes through, but it's not too detrimental. Navi being very slow paced here. You can see Edwards actually made his way all the way towards the end of long. So that's absolutely fantastic in terms of map control. He can just hold in that position now, wait for any sort of reaction as his teammates go through the procedures here. There will be another kill for Simple. It looks like it's pretty much guaranteed round for Navi. They might even drop a frag at this point. Open a bomb site with Electronic holding towards B. There's a couple of players there. There is a frag for Get Right, but that's probably all they get. Can he recover the rifle, though? That's the question. Remember, they came in with two of them. Get Right does get the AK, but can he save the weapon?
Backs off with it for now. Bit of time to play with before in which that weapon becomes a bigger issue. Continues to tick away, and we can see it at the top based on the slide timer, so there isn't a time itself on the screen, it's just the bomb duration. Navi do find him, take him down. Edward with the kill that gives the AK back to the ground, but no one's able to pick it up. So they're still going to have to reinvest that one gun. It is just one, it's not the huge deal. In fact, you could let one of the SMG players with kills transfer over and reinvest with his money that he's earned. But NiP don't get the benefit of carrying that into the gun round. They will have res immediately onto an AUG. The AUG looks tiny on the overlay.
It's a big gun, though. That's been doing some damage recently. And Rez, an absolute aim star. We've seen a few of those players pick it up more and more recently, not just the usual suspects like Majors getting the lead. A lot of players are actually investing in that weapon. And Dennis, He's up close and personal. He knows they've got the lack of grenades here going into that first gun round, so trying to get the first pick. Not necessarily successful though. Does get information. It's not really a fast mid-play, but at this point Na'Vi are still in full control. They're going through their default, so they're posturing back towards the B-bomb side of Electronic. When we got dinged here before, be very cautious of the boost. We'll check it, just going for the shoulder peek, confirms it's clear. And now, do they just walk into the B-bomb site? Knowing there's probably no incendiary on the other side, they could actually go for a contact B play here. They have the advantage as the smokes are deployed. But there are 3 CTs waiting still. Good grenade comes in, actually does a lot of damage towards Lekro. If they could do that once again, he'd be incredibly weak and allow those SMGs to do extra damage. As you can see now, only 4 players on the NiP side with Kevlar, just the one. That's Lekro, the helmet. That UMP actually becomes very deadly.
Lekro waiting, smoke down, won't be able to see into it. Does see some bullets fired his direction, so tries to do it again in return, but it's all about Dennis on the flank at this point in time. He's revealed himself a little bit early, however. So drawn attention his way, still makes up for it, finds Simple. Sprays through the door, needs to be careful of conserving ammo, but that may not matter when Flamey runs in and finds his head immediately on the UMP. They'll upgrade naturally Flamey onto the M4. Still though, 4 HP, 7 for him. For Zeus, it's not like it's going to be much of a challenge for NiP to close out this round, so long as they don't overextend or make mistakes against Edward.
At this point, Na'Vi can't really justify winning the round. They might just be saving these 3 rifles here. Zeus and Flamey being so low, 8 seconds remaining. It looks like that's exactly the call. It was looking so good, but that one smoke slowed everything right down. They started losing players due to wall bangs. Gerard got a lovely one through the wooden boards, and a nice flank from Dennis just to lock them in the B side of the map. No rotations could be made, no frags could be found, but Na'Vi with a nice call just to save the weaponry. They still will have enough to buy up in this round, and I think I saw a cheeky AWP being purchased up there as well. Obviously that goes straight in the hands of Simple. We'll see whether he can get it done here in round number 4. No AWP on the CT side. They'll be happy with their rifles along with that AUG of Rez. One of the absolute star players of NiP this year. We'll see if he can step up. A lot of eyes on NiP this year to see if they can close things out successfully. They managed to get to the grand final in the previous BLAST tournament. No one expected that. Can we see them go one step further? Who knows? As Simple does position himself right up there in middle, so looking towards that party position, see if anyone will jump up. Not going to get anything for it just yet. He has got Dennis and Rez on the other side.
Amy's still waiting to see if there will be aggression. NiP known for playing that underpass position quite consistently. Smoke has a massive gap. Forrest will try and take advantage of that. His foot would show first, though, based on the off angle, rather than someone rounding the corner, so he has to be a little bit careful. In fact, they're going to go for the boost. Top sandbags. Staying on top of his head. There he is. Get right, who's trying to see if anyone's going to swing toward that monster position. Still also can see through the windows. High enough angle, you actually, I think, can catch maybe someone at the stairwell. I'm not 100% sure if you can see quite to the bottom of the stairs, but either way, they'll see the door open. They're going to commit to that as well. They've rotated off it, but that was about a 15-second commitment to that boost. Normally we see it jumped and checked because everyone's worried that if they lose Monster while doing it, they're just sitting ducks in that position with the split. So Dennis waits it out in bathrooms. Rez to pull the aggro from the front side. He just wants to watch the open door. Wanted to cross out. In fact, got aggressive. That nearly caught him off. In fact, will, because Rez has to fire through him. He didn't really stay in the corner as was the design, but Rez seemingly making up for it as the bomb down. AUG to play with. Zeus gets the kill in return. It's now a 3-on-2, though, in favor for Flamey. 14 seconds. Lekro shut down Zeus. They've got to be so careful with these smokes in position. Lekro can deny the bomb. 8 seconds, and they're still not on it. They pretty much have to commit. At this point, they will. Smoke off angle. Oh, he's tagged twice, but they don't know that they had him. They will get him down either way.
Wow. Couldn't get much closer than that, but NiP seemed to be in full control throughout the entire sequence there. It was a 2 versus 2 with the clock running down. No choice but to go for the gamble plant in the smoke, and we'll see if that's going to be enough to keep NiP afloat at this point. Bomb planted. I think there's for about $3,000 per play on the Na'Vi side. You can see Edward just trying to get that plant down. Forrest knew exactly where he was. It was a nice default from Na'Vi. Got some decent map control there, but Rez looking way too strong in the bathrooms. As sure, he took down a teammate, but he took down a few of the opponents as well. And as mentioned, around $3,000. It's very early on. It's a best of one. You don't want to take too many gambles here. So they're just going to take, I'd imagine, maybe a partial buy of P250s here. First pause of the game. And Lekro has the AWP now. So watch out for that. Forrest with the AK as well, as the analyst mentioned. Still an absolute legend of the game. Always going to be a hard hitter. And we'll see if he can get it done in this next round. This is a chance for NiP to detect the pause and work out what the play is. Zeus has purchased up with the AK. They are a team that enjoys a forced buy here. They certainly have the power and the talent to back it up. Is this the round to do it in a best of one? I'm not so sure. Do they even give the AK to Simple? That's the question. Simple's got a Glock right now. Does he have the AK on the floor? He certainly does. That's what you want to see. Considered to be the world's best player in terms of mechanical skill. He's got the highest card rating here at the event. You want him to have the rifle in these sort of situations. We'll see if he can open things up. Dennis will try and shut him down though. Pushing towards Party once again. Edward with an MP5. Only 2 AKs available, but no, actually just a 1. Beg your pardon. Simple, along with UMPs and an MP5 here. He has to crack open the bomb sites here for them to stand a chance.
Dennis waiting it out in reverse side. Does actually get Edwards walking toward him. Swings knowing that there's going to be more if they're going to play it that aggressively, even with these lowered weapons. So we get Zeus. Tagged only to 80. It looked like he actually was going to come out worse for wear on the second peak, but bomb down inside of that stairwell, meaning it's visible, but Simple still in the server, isn't he? He'll find an angle.
Yeah, lovely shot. That gives Navi potentially another rifle here. Whether they can recover it, yet to be seen. Rez trying to deny that the best he can, but it looks like Navi will have control of the position as they push him back a little bit further. Flamey gets tagged up. 4 versus 3 still. NiP defending off this A attack. Navi don't really have the choice to fall back at this point. They don't have any utility. They've just got firepower. 1 M4, an AK-47. And we'll see if it will be enough as Rez holds towards long. And Lekro, who's also been looking sharp as of late, drops a perfectly timed smoke there. With 30 seconds remaining, that smoke pretty much secures the round for me unless something amazing happens here. Maybe it could with Simple peeking from the bathrooms. Can't connect the shot straight away. And Navi at this point, 20 seconds remaining, have to fall back. They're waiting. I'm not sure what the options are.
There may not be any at this point in time. Lekro trying desperately to find the shot toward the bathroom. 10 seconds. I nowhere to go. Even if they fall back, Rez is there. What are they going to do? Save the weapons just by sitting and waiting with crossfire? That's all they have as options. 3 seconds. Rez finds Flamey. Bomb goes down and time gone. There might be more damage done. Thankfully, Simple holds his line. That might be enough to keep both guns. So therefore, the lack of income offset by the fact that there's 2 rifles. But this is going from a decent start at 2-0 from Navi to 3 in a row NiP, and really them looking lost. Twice time's been a factor.
And you might be tempted to force this again. You've got your 2 best riflers on the server, Simple and Electronic, with an AK and an M4. And I see a purchase from Zeus. They're going for it. I don't blame them, but these best of 1 environments, you might want to be a little bit more cautious. NiP will be loving this, baiting them into a force buy situation once again. Good grenade. I don't think it'll do a ton of damage, but a little bit perhaps. Not quite, not going to connect as they try and boost awkwardly up onto the slide here. A little bit too late, I'm afraid. The CTs have already vacated the area as Rez once again holding with that all from the bathrooms. This is NiP looking like they're in full control. Remember, last week at Pro League, Navi looked incredibly weak. Yes, they got to the playoffs, but not the team we know and love. It was a scrappy affair. Lots of touch and go moments against teams they really shouldn't even be breaking a sweat against. As Navi look to rebuild for next year. There was a hint of that in one of Simple's interviews that after the major, something could be going on.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, Virtus Pro, just to touch on them, and it is, I tweeted, it's a big loss to the community. Obviously, those guys are legends, and they deserve all the respect that they get. Tough demise for them, a bitter demise. But it goes to show that enough can be enough when there's this much investment, right? And in Navi, okay, sure, they're still rated number 3 in the world right now, and they've had results this year. They've won the last BLAST Pro Series. They have had other successes, including Cologne in this past year, but it's just not consistent enough for the amount that's invested in that team and the amount of what they think they're worth. Look at Simple. I mean, this guy's proof of it. He's unstoppable, but yet sometimes finds himself without much support. Lekro gets Zeus. Come down to a 2-on-1. Bomb is still ticking. Lekro's going to try and slip away, I think, on the AWP. Misses that shot. Probably should, but wants to punish the economy as much as possible. Back to the point, though, you're right. When does Navi say, okay, we've got to make changes?
I think inconsistency is the word. If they have a lights-out day where Simple Electronic are really feeling it, they look like a great team. But as we saw at Pro League, it seems that the theory side of the game is where they really should be focusing. Like against Mouse Sports, they looked like they were a team that just wasn't on that level. They got out-strategized. They couldn't really keep up when they weren't hitting their shots and losing all the jewels. They had no real executions to fall back onto, variations of strategies. It looked like they were just relying on Electronic and Simple to be thrown out on the bomb site and hope for the best. And when these sort of rounds happen, you can't really argue with it. Simple, with that AK save in the previous round, it's always going to be enough to give you a chance of winning it as he manages to run away with the round. It's going to be just a saved all for Lekro as they force fight around it. You can definitely justify this one. A scout for Dennis and all for Lekro, UMPs for the others. We have got the M4 silence on Forrester, but look at the distinct lack of grenades. Just a couple of smokes here, almost nothing else on 3 players. Get right, Dennis and Forrest go into this one bare. And that's why they're getting a little bit aggressive towards long. They know they need a first pick here just to give them a fighting chance.
Rez wants to push it. Zeus is there, but he's got support. He's got Lekro. AWP for Lekro. That's a tough angle to hit behind the fountain. Can slide out. Oh, I think he spotted. Still nailed it. I could have swore Zeus saw him before he got in behind the pillar, but he's wider than the pillar itself, so the op scoped in was easily going to find that if he wasn't going to challenge it.
If he just held the angle he had and just watched it properly, I think he has that kill, but just a little bit awkward, impatient perhaps. Daydreaming, who knows, as he just exposes himself for nothing. Couldn't even see the angle he was holding. And Simple needs to pick up the pieces here. He's got himself right onto the bomb site, so's Edward, but he'll be dropped. And this was the force buy from NiP. They find themselves in a 5 versus 3.
They're still going to rotate that direction based on Simple's position. He checks the door to make sure no one rotates in through mid. If they did, that would be how they get cut off. That's the way to segregate Simple from his teammates. But already they're at long and approaching the site. They know it's going to be A. Simple was spotted. Exchange made. Lekro's tagged onto 13, but so far he's fine in the corner. It's actually going to be Rez caught out being a little bit too aggressive toward the site, but no aggro being pulled away from him. That's going to be the problem. Good read from Simple. At least gets a Molotov into the corner, but he's got to do more than that. Shot toward Dumpster. 21 seconds. Time becomes a factor yet again, despite they've got this down to a 3-on-3. The site is still covered off with rotations. Bomb drop temporarily. Simple has to fight forward and get right behind the smoke and can watch the entrance, at least from the front of the site, from bathrooms, not from long. So bomb going down, but Simple lost.
Well, it's all about Get right there, managing to sneak through the smoke like a true ninja there. Manages to deny, well, he denies the getaway from the planter at that point, brings it back to a 2 versus 1. They were low HP, but worked in tandem in a difficult round. Remember, came into that one with almost no utility in terms of the grenades. They had 2 players with a couple of smokes. That was about it. That force buy works. That was a massive gamble to take, but they'll save the AWP, the AK-47, win the round, go 4-3, and answer back straight away. I don't think there's a buy there for Navi. They've force bought a lot in this game so far. They've got around $3,000 per player on average. Highest being Electronic with 4,500, Flamey with 4K as well, and it looks like they're buying again, Matthew. This war of attrition is relentless. No one wants to give in.
Someone eventually has to. That's the problem with a game like this, right? When it goes back and forth so many times.
Yes.
Someone eventually has to come out on the losing side of it, and then the problem is how aggressive do you want to be to try and break down and keep the other team honest while you're sitting on the back foot? Do you want to go for the double ego potentially on the CT side and try and just get weapons out of their hands? It's a tough ask. Rez down first, Simple with the kill. By way of tag on top of Flames. Flames do the rest of the work, and he now upgrades onto the AWP, in which he thinks he's got a lead as to someone's position inside of the site. Edward will get closer and try and use his ears to confirm that. But the rotation back the other way for now. In fact, they're hoping that somehow they've funneled them off of B. The other option is by rotating back over toward this A side. So Forrest now will re-smoke Monster. If they want, being a man down, they can 3-man push A and then wrap in for the flank.
It's looking good for that right now. They have got a disadvantage, of course. Rez going down early. That's why they're trying to set something else up towards A. The smoke down towards B should buy them a little bit of time to probe towards that middle area. If they want to go any further in the bathrooms is yet to be seen. There's Dennis potentially waiting to be flashed in here, and this could work out quite nicely. Is that a wallbang?
No, I think that was... It might have been. I thought it was teammate. Didn't really see. I was watching the map to see exactly how the play would work out. That's not bad from Get Right. They each get 1. Perhaps one needed two, if that makes sense. They couldn't go trade evenly because now it leaves Forrest in the site. Zeus overwhelms him with a CZ at that range. Just Forrest just not hitting the spray at all. And Lekro, knowing likely that he's going to be coming from behind, gets smoked out already. AWP might take a crack at the default position, but smartly, they're not going to plant anywhere near that. It was a decent play. The single smoke to Monster actually did funnel them back over to the A side of the map, and they had a setup for it. They just couldn't find the kills.
You can see Dennis ready and waiting for the flashbang. He certainly got it, but only good for one kill. Wasn't quite enough, I'm afraid. Get right got the second, and as you pointed out, Forrest had to step up there, the last line of defense on the A site. He didn't get anything done, though. Had to connect at least one of those shots, but nothing done for him. Taken down by the CZ, and it will be the force buy that's successful again. As Lekro goes down, confirms that it is a complete reset for NiP. Now, they might force by themselves. They can't really afford next round regardless. As you can see, hovering around, what, $1,600 on average? You're going to get $1,900 into the next round. So that's still not enough to buy. Do you want to take the force here? Try and see what you can do with the CZs and answer back. And I think that's exactly what they're going for here. Deagle armor purchased up. Get right confirms it. They will be spending every dollar they have. Maybe not Forrest because he had a little bit more. He'll stick. Oh, he goes under 200. So it is a force buy here. This could be the one that breaks serve though. NiP with just pistols and a scout. One smoke and they need kills desperately.
Exactly that. This is what I was kind of alluding to, in the fact that if you're going to make this force buy when you're CT side and you've had that battle of attrition, you pretty much have to get 3 kills here to make it worth it, because the objective is that you're trying to keep the CTs, or excuse me, the Ts honest, right? You want to keep their money low enough that when you get guns back, you're back into the game immediately, but it's a big risk. Because otherwise, they're going to start to build the bank on top of you not having any at all, and that so far was the case. 2 kills, none back in their direction. Flamey tries to spot out where Rez enters back into the site from, but they're backing away already, saving what little they do have. I mean, this is Navi holding on by the, I want to say, the skin of their teeth based on how things were going after 3 rounds in, but now getting back into things.
Absolutely. Clean round as well. Navi, 5 players surviving. It's Dennis and Rez. Rez without the armor and the scout. It's not the most tantalizing save, I have to say, but it will be Dennis doing what he can. He is a bit of a pistol maestro. We'll see if he can upgrade that to an AK perhaps as he holds on. It will be Navi taking the lead once again though. So that should be eco now for NiP, and Navi setting themselves up for a fantastic first half. And remember, best of 1 round robin format. It's been the format for BLAST throughout the year. It's a brutal one. Means if you lose the first 2 maps, you lose your first 2 best of 1s, it can almost potentially mean you're not going to make it to that grand final. You'll be fighting for the 3rd spot off the get-go. So losing this first map, especially against a team you feel like you should be beating, can be very frustrating. It's a stacked tournament as well. A lot of big names here, including the likes of FaZe and Astralis. Navi, although not in their best form, always going to be scary. As Flamey demonstrates his great aim there, it comes through. He said recently in a tweet that he knows that his performance has been lacking. He wants to prove to the world he's still a top player, and making a convincing case of that so far with some great shots there, albeit against an eco. And we've lost a player potentially?
It does appear that way. So the HUD suggests, the game that I'm in suggests otherwise.
It looks fine. There we go.
Yeah, they refreshed it. They refreshed it.
Yeah, nice.
Oh. We also have a player named Refresh here this week. This is going to be a bit confusing.
I'm doing interviews next for that game. I've requested to speak to him.
Have you?
Yes.
Nice. You're doing interviews?
I'm doing some interviews next.
Nice. Look at you, jack of all trades.
I've asked to speak to him so we can kind of get some insights to the rookies this year and see where his mindset's at. That's my aim, so watch out for that. So that'll be a lot of fun just to see how he's fitting in and whether he feels like 2019 will be his year. It's going to be cool.
2019 is going to be your year, Hank.
I hope so.
I feel it.
And break through finally.
You're finally going to get to cast a major final.
It will be USPs only, and not really much else to speak of. This is what we were talking about when we talked about broken server, a tennis term, and to suggest that you've actually done a great job against their force buys and got them into a position where they can't do anything but take that full eco as they encroach on the A-bomb side. Navi should have no problem here whatsoever. Just 1 CT waiting towards bank. That's going to be Dennis. They will rotate over, but what can they really do apart from maybe a couple of frags at the very most?
Tronic looking for an angle toward dumpster stairs. Rez is already on the flank quite quickly as well. This could catch them out. There's potential for it. You can hear one player heading backside of the bathrooms. Wait patiently. Oh, Electronic did swing to check smartly. Could have been overlooked. That would have been one of those ones that could have been a bit of a frustration for him.
Wow, no frustration at all. Well, looks at things. nothing but gratification as they'll actually have another clean sweep.
Yeah, exactly that. You hit the nail on the head, which is better than I did with the hammer. I used to hit my thumb a lot. 10 players staying alive over the last 2 rounds.
Wow.
So, no kills NiP with the force buy in the previous round. Left them on a double eco, which meant now they've got so much money on the T side. They effectively have 3 rounds of buying power.
I would say enough for the rest of the half at this point. It depends how this one goes. If NiP can find a couple of clean rounds and no bomb plants there, maybe they'll break them towards round 14, but we'll see. No AWPs again, simple as is, and they head towards the B side. You can see this default very efficient, flash over, push back the boost, make sure CTs have no intel, even a nade at the start there as well, but they take a bit of damage. Is that a clean wallbang for Forest? I believe it is. Not bad at all, takes down the AWP. That's a free kill for NiP there. Lovely stuff. And they're actually going to follow it up with a boost as well. You would not expect this. And you can see Edward didn't see it coming whatsoever.
Solid play. NiP getting a little bit creative. Nearly got sprayed back by Zeus. Forest rather, goes down to 24 HP. Zeus tonight sitting at 5 and 4 in the plus. Although at the bottom, he's had contribution. We've seen him win out against Forest with the CZ even at this point in time. 2 only for Rez is a bit of an issue. Concerning. CT side, he certainly has had his fair shake at it. In contention at long, where he is again this time. Maybe Zeus Electronic, they'll rotate back in. And head over to A instead. Rez seems to be the resident auger on this team.
I think that is an accurate statement. He seems to be picking it up consistently here. We'll see whether he can make it work. 5 on 3. And this kill should be his as well. Zeus, not known to be an AWPer, as he'll be taken down. That's the bomb dropped as well, and presumably the round.
Yeah, bomb's the big one in Matt, because out at long, no one else there. Dennis doesn't really... Okay, I was going to say doesn't really have to peek that, because they have to commit to wrapping around. Flamey does look very sharp. Flamey's a little hot. But again, Dennis didn't have to commit to that, because if they're in the bathrooms, bombs at long, let them commit to the site. You can set the crossfire. Giving that up nearly opened up access. They got a second kill on top of it, but now with 5 seconds. The round's fine. It's all good. They'll get away with it. 3 players alive. That's 6-5 as NiP get 1 back.
Well, it's that all-important wallbang. Remember, Forrest got a clean kill. Reminiscent of his 1.6 days there, manages to take down the AWP. You can see how precise this was. It's the silenced M4 as well. You've got to be brave to go for those wallbangs, and he even is taps away. And like I said, that boost, you just wouldn't expect it to follow up there. The fact they got a kill, you'd assume, right, they'll be repositioning, they'll be sending for their crossfires now. No, straight up with the boost, take another kill down, keep applying that pressure, and making sure Navi can't get back on their feet. As you mentioned, a couple of buys in the bag, and that still rings true. They have 1 more there, even if they lose this round. So they'll come through with 5 AKs here, and Rez now on the AWP. It's very Swedish in terms of the approach. Anyone can AWP in the squad, maybe apart from Get Right, and whoever's feeling it, whatever position they've got, just change things up. And you have to think that's quite a dynamic approach, but at the same time, it makes things a little bit of a nightmare in terms of sustainability. Who's going to be your star AWPer? Who's going to be carrying those rounds? Sure, you've got plenty of players that can be proficient with it, but have you got someone that can take down some of the world's best? And we get into round 12 here. It's 6-5 Navi. On the T side of Overpass, it's certainly a CD-sided map, looking likely to execute towards B. Here comes the final commitment with that flashbang. Will they be able to break open the site?
Electronic waiting it out. Let's just get an angle, but the smoke's down start to actually preclude the fact that they can't see through them. There's a massive gap. Flamey jumps over. That just gives Get Right a lineup. Edward jousts against Forrest. Wow. How does Edward find that to Get Right? This gets 1 back, but bomb down, 2 on 2. Chance for this. Splash on top of the site. Edward manages to get away. Not spotted. Electronic can play out toward water as well. Op did try and wall through on 2 occasions with no success. HP advantage to NiP. Bomb down and positional advantage. Oh, you would say to Navi. Good read from Dennis.
Still winnable though. Electronic, one of the key fraggers here. If he hits this shot, all bets are off. It's Rez with the AWP. Knows exactly where he is, misses it, and Electronic punishes. Excellent work there, and that's a huge round for Navi to pick up. It avoids financial ruin. It resets NiP completely, and then he goes 7-5 up here on Overpass. It's all about Edward as well. The shots he was getting through the smoke. Fantastic work. This second kill that comes in. How does he get it? It's through the bomb site boxes as well, and that kill, that was it's all about. As soon as Dennis gives that one up, it really does compromise Rez's position, because like I said, he's not an AWPer. He definitely can use the weapon, but in those tight 1v1s against someone as excellent Electronic, he is going to struggle somewhat. NiP have to go with the full eco now. USPs, P250s, and a bathroom stack here. 3 players there, and another one on the bomb site.
Edward just holding it out to see if anyone will push through. Bomb at T stairs. No one really far from it at this point. In fact, indicative of Overpass's style or potential for the CT aggression. How have you enjoyed Lisbon so far, Hank?
I've spent the first day ill in bed.
That's true, actually. I knew that before I asked. I don't know why I put you on the spot like that.
So I've seen the pictures from you guys. It looks beautiful.
It is lovely. It's been fantastic to walk around.
No, my hotel's been adequate. That's all I can say. It was a nice time in there. Had a fever, but I've sweated all the demons out. Not all of them, but most of them. And ready to
I was going to say, that's a lot of sweat.
I know, exactly.
That's buckets of sweat.
I realized at that point that there's no buckets big enough to fill that. But we will see myself back on full form tomorrow. I can still hear it a bit raspy today, but hopefully
it makes you sound excited though, Hank.
A little bit,
That's
yeah.
my trick. Lose my voice and then it just seems like I'm super excited, but the truth is I have to yell because I can't talk.
You know you're really on the mend when every word you say hurts your voice, but that's when you know you're at the tail end of it, perhaps.
Perhaps. Well, hopefully so. Either way, it's going to be, and obviously we talked over it for the reason that it is an eco, but it's going to be the round to Navi. Bomb down, no one even challenging it at this point in time on the NiP side. They will find one more kill, simply gets Lekro. 8-5. 14th rounds coming up. In fact, they're going to do better than that. They get all the kills in the end.
They certainly do. That was the full eco, and they're going to win the half off that. 8-5, round 14, and NiP. They're going to buy this, but maybe a tactical timeout just to discuss their options. This has been the storyline. Sorry. The storyline has been NiP keep buying up without everything they need. They have the M4s, the SMGs, basic utility, but they just don't have the stopping power to take down a full Navi execution. So they'll take the time out now, allow Pitta to get involved, and does he want to go for a guaranteed round, have everything they possibly could want in round number 15 and go for 6, or they try and steal this away and potentially end up 10-5 down? A very difficult choice, and it looks like a buy will be coming in. Dennis confirms out the M4 purchase. See Navi, they know they have full control, and this pause suggests weakness on the other side of this server. I would be calling something very fast, maybe that B side attack again. They haven't got incendiaries, you can guarantee that. So maybe go towards B, execute. You've got the stopping power right now. They don't. The best they can do is drop a smoke on you.
That is one of the most lovely bananas I think I've ever seen. Not that one's pretty average, but
okay.
The one by Simple is
perfectly formed.
Very ripe. Beautiful size to it. Just saying, it was a nice looking banana.
I missed it. I'm actually kind of upset now. Maybe we can get the cameraman back onto it for an instant replay.
We'll get it next time.
Yeah, so the Pyjamas comes out. You can see they're desperately trying to get a kill. Again, we discussed this before. You have no grenades, you need kills. They can't just sit back and wait. They've got 4 players on the A side of the map. They usually play 3 at B, suggests that times are hard. But this position isn't enough from Forest. Oh, Zeus, you got to check him. It's actually Flamey that goes down. And it will be a 5-on-4. It's exactly what NiP needed.
Yeah, Rez is still here with GetRight to support this, though. So GetRight finds one. That actually makes life easier for Rez than they came with that over because he's guaranteed his backside's covered. And they'll spank the bottoms of Navi by doing it. Good little setup. No one checking it. And twice they walked into a trap, including that at Flamey at stairs, as you mentioned. So 8-6, NiP. They're in this. CT side is usually the favorite on Overpass, but the rounds they're winning are super convincing. The problem is they've just been chasing the economy.
That's why I said as well, when that pause comes up against you, you've got to at least expect this aggression. You've got to just sit back either passively or straight into an execution. Going for a default like that, like they did, just assuming, oh, it's going to be more of the same here, boys. I think that's a bit of a problem. You really have to be suspicious of what could happen.
Here we go.
And here we go, the classic clip it moment. It doesn't land straight away. Simply will get there quicker, my friend. Will he manage to get on top? He will, but does he have a chance? The train will block his vision, and I don't think there was one available, but still, it is cool to look at.
Yeah, they were there long before that. It takes 5 players to get up there doing it that way because they use one more to run the boost off the ledge or the railing. It's pretty remarkable.
At this point, you might want to have a player just go for a flash in B, just to show a little bit of presence, and there's something there, but they're going to have to give it up.
If he had held that and looked that direction, he might have gotten lucky. But here's the problem. By committing to that, they have to flash themselves just outside of the stairs at A. And look how aggressive NiP is continuing to be. It's Rez. He's not beyond what we'll call the enemy's gate. Sort of that wall that covers right here, this wall. To his right, the trees that go toward the mid-stairs, and then likewise, there's the same sort of linear perspective from long. I call that sort of the enemy's gate, because once you go beyond that, you're in enemy territory. You get the point.
I get it.
I'm rambling, but you get it. Last time he was, this time he wasn't, but it's still so much information. They managed to find him, sort it, and take it down, so Navi with the man advantage at 39 seconds.
That's exactly what you want, but low HP on Edward as Simple gets dropped. He just gave his AWP over as well. So that's going to be a disappointing loss, and time has been a bit of an issue for NAVI. He keeps scrambling towards the bomb site when there's no time left. This we know different. Luckily, Dennis does miss a bit of a sitter there, and another. This is at the setup. Get right here. He needs multiple kills. He tries to fall back, but he's hitting all the shots. 3 kills come in. That should confirm absolutely everything, and we split it right down the middle there. Some desperate rounds from NiP at the end, but it goes 8-7. On their 4 spies. You can see NAVI not feeling too good about that right towards the end. They had full control of that game. The last 2 go against them. You see actually Get Right fragging at the very top there. 2 crucial, make it 3 crucial frags towards the end. Had to go large and in charge as Dennis went down, hits all 3. That confirms that they know Zeus is towards long. A sigh of relief perhaps. No celebration just yet. Remember, best of 1, brutal format. You need these W's under your belt nice and early on. We'll see if they can do it.
We know how brutal this format is because there's 2 examples of it. MIBR last event got off to a really slow one and just couldn't find their way back in. Got trounced 0-5 at that Copenhagen BLAST Series event. And then you look at Astralis. They were fantastic on day 2. Day 1, they had 2 losses. They couldn't make it their way to the final. They finished 3rd at that event.
It was too late, and remember there's no overtimes here either. It goes straight to 15-15, so in itself that is a loss, I would say, but it's better than having this straight up L.
Yeah, I agree. When you get ties, you're kind of relying on other teams to lose points as well, right?
Yep.
Because you're not giving yourself the best chance. You're not living your best self, Henry.
Is that the way they say it?
Yeah. Is that? I think so.
Yeah, it's something like that, but it is going to be the opening kill. Zeus is not actually the one to deliver it. I beg your pardon, it's Electronic who managed to find Lecro there. So NiP continue their assault towards A. They do not have any grenades. This is just Glock firepower making its way through in numbers, and there's 3 CTs waiting on the other side. I do not think this will go well for NiP unless they get a double kill very early on.
Rez trying to find his way back in. Has Electronic behind the truck, actually overstepped the mark. Edward, good find and return on Get Right, but low HP on Rez means they have to subside slightly in his position. Zeus has to do the same. Edward, he's already tagged down to 20. And he easily finds Dennis, and that means now Forrest trying to step out. Look at that retake from NAVI. That's incredible. Simple and flamey with all of the kills required.
Yeah, it goes into a 5-4 early, and at that point, sure, you've got the bomb down, but you've all gone Glock armor. So how do you really hold it off? You could see the aggression coming through. They try to focus towards the CT steps, but the USP is just way too powerful, it seems. Flamey hitting absolutely everything there. He gets 2 kills. Remember, a player that's had a lot of criticism thrown his way as of late as NAVI have dropped off. He certainly has as well, but Edward, nice work by him. That's all he had to do is get that 1 kill. Flamey goes above and beyond though. This second frag, absolute masterclass there as Simple finishes things off. They get the defuse, and NiP have the option to buy here if they really want to. The bomb being planted. It looks like they'll go for a more modest approach and just get those deagles out. They get an extra $800 per player, meaning that deagle essentially costs $100, and they can get AK's armor next round, no problem. Hopefully with a few kills under their belt here as well. Yeah, nice little tidbit. NAVI have won both pistols. They're doing our job for us. I didn't really keep track of that,
no,
so it's perfect.
Absolutely. That is pretty solid. It was 2-0 to start, remember, then 3 rounds in a row for him.
Exactly.
NiP to pull it back. Get Right trying desperately with the deagle, and having enough of that exchange, Zeus will subside. He does not want to challenge any further. Flamey will. He'll get Lecro. That's out toward Monster. So still on the B side of the map. Get Right's tagged to 22, just to note.
And that's enough as well of your NAVI. You've confirmed they haven't forced port here. You can feel they're squishy. You've got an advantage here. No one has to push for kills. Hold the positions you have right now. You just need to deny the plant. That is it.
Electronic. Simple. That's a good combo on top of this site. Simple shows Rez the way out. Get the janitor to the bathrooms. They've got a bit of a mess, and Simple finds Dennis as well. Electronic with one in between. Those 2 on A together. That's pretty tantalizing.
That's a good name for Rain in the bathrooms. We call him the janitor from now on.
The janitor. Oh, yeah. I like that, yeah.
Everyone says he's the world's best in that position. We can make that our thing. And the janitor mops them up in the bathrooms.
Who was it? Wasn't it Cajun B that was like the maid or something?
It was the cleaner.
The cleaner, that's what it was. And we had a maid suit.
Yes, that's right.
That was unreal.
The cleaner. Different times, happier times.
Ah, I miss Cajun.
He'll be back. Optics still rebuilding. But either way, so NiP. This time they do get a buy. As you can see the AKs, even with the deagles purchased before. Not as strong as it could be. Get right with no utility whatsoever. And is this a nice little creative boost coming in? I think it is. Right up to that playground. Can you spot over the wall? Certainly can. Not the most ideal angle. Dennis will take care of that. And so will Forest. 2 kills come in for NiP. 5 versus 3. And surely there's no rebuttal here from Na'Vi. They've only got SMGs to try and defend at this point.
Get right, still waiting out. Not being as aggressive as Former. In this position, he oftentimes likes to get inside of water and play in that cubby. You know the one I mean.
Oh, yes.
He'll wait there time and time again to see if he gets any information as to what's going on the B side. Typically things like this. If he hears this boost, if they make a mistake doing it, he's all over it. He'll capitalize by spraying straight through that wood, but he seems to be a lot more passive, perhaps given that it's a 5-on-2. There's not really any need for him to extend at this point in time. So 10-7, maybe 8. Still 3 up. It's not a foregone conclusion. Bonus situation. Edward gonna have to rotate off that B side at some point in time. That boost still in position. No one on A. This should be pretty straightforward. Boost finally works. In fact, Electronic gets get right inside the door at connector, and that signals the players back over toward A. Everyone charging from both teams to try and beat each other to position. Swing from Edward. Shot swing after 5 going a little bit soon. Want the free fire at long. Gets back in position again. That mid-range SMG against armor can't do it. And Electronic left on 19. Not much to lose, much to gain. Just waiting to go down at this point in time. And Dennis will do exactly that at 10-8.
Na'Vi give the round up. NiP with a couple of nice picks to kick things off there. We saw that interesting boost. I don't think I've actually seen that in a high-level game before. Tried to look over towards the playground. Dennis, very aware of it, punishes the first, and as soon as you see one of those heads, you can guarantee a second will be there as well. That's what Forrest took care of it. I can see Dennis is very in tune with that possibility, as it will be Forrest and they're going to clean things up. Dennis with the final kill there. There should still be a buy for Na'Vi. I think they'll be hovering around 4k per player. Yes, indeed, around that. 5k on Zeus. Remember, a team that loves a force buy, so it wouldn't be surprised if they go for this one. I think I just saw a cheeky AUG purchase at the end there by Zeus. Suggests they're going for it. There's another AUG for Edward. So a team that's been working on this discipline as well. We'll see if it works out for them. Big round here. If NiP give this one up, Na'Vi will be in cruise control to take the map. But if NiP can win this, it's going to tie things up at 10-10, no problem. As the AWP is there for Simple, it is glass cannon. And Matt, going into this round, they have 3 smokes, a couple of flashbangs. To be fair, a couple of incendiaries as well, as Edward with no grenades and Simple. So more of the same. Like we saw from NiP, pushing up to the fountains perhaps, trying to get that first pick. We'll see if it happens for them, but NiP should be very aware of this. They've had plenty of time to practice, watch demos. They haven't been at every event recently. And we'll see if they can make this round theirs.
Simple. Edge of the trees. The slides out to find Dennis. Good start to this round number 19 after one win from NiP. Be a massive blow to the economy. Rez. Find his way toward long. Lekro's already come out from the connector. No initiation. Or no one to try and challenge, I should say, from the front of the bathrooms. Got a little bit of room to work with, as on top of that, Electronic's going to rotate back inside of the site. Still, though, they've got that crossfire from Simple and Electronics, so even though they're passive, they're still a problem. Bomb indicative of perhaps A at this point, but 45 seconds could still rotate back through connector, given that they have a stance from Lekro. He stepped out to throw some utility. It might just be time to commit to the fake and head back over with his team. He's still waiting for it. Flamey and Edward, the only 2 held at bay. Lekro's going to commit and wants to make contact to sell this even further. And Zeus is in heaven, so they can actually go for 2 on the site. Again, though, it's the 2 you wouldn't want to challenge, or is it? Simple's already gone. We saw the kill on the offsite, but this is more important at this point because Electronic trying to do what he can to buy time for rotations. Can't do much.
Oh,
good find from Zeus, however. You're right. Second time he's lost out on a duel that really I don't think Forrest should lose out on in those situations.
Definitely not. That was his kill all day long. It's a couple of times that's happened here. Forrest goes down with just the 1 kill. Should have at least been 2 to give them a fighting chance, but Na'Vi will take it. It was a difficult round for them to buy up into, but 3 players survived. They recovered the AWP. Flamey on the AK as well, who finds himself 2 more frags there. I assume he is top fragging at this point. He must be. Flamey, 19 kills, 12 deaths. That's more like it. His stats have been weak by his standards as of late. Electronic is 17. and Simple at 14. Those are the names you want at the top, and we haven't seen that for a while. NAVI doing a great job bouncing back from a disappointing Pro League. As we get into it, NiP will have a buy in hand. You can see the AK's coming out. Dennis is down to the pistol. That CZ, and this is really make or break at this point. If he loses round, 12-8 down, but another eco there could be enough to close it out. We'll see if NAVI have got it in them. 2 Augs again for Zeus and Edwards. We've seen a lot of players just kind of move to that weapon. Maybe some of the lesser fraggers choose to give this weapon a whirl and see if they can revitalize their game. It's worked in a few instances. We've seen Carrigan from FaZe pick it up, and looked like he was very comfortable, and a player that was also in a bit of a slump as well. So we'll see if this works out for NAVI as they control short. It's up to Lekro to dissect this connected position.
Molotov thrown out front bathrooms, trying to clear that sort of winged position where the entry juts outward. The park closes at 11 according to that sign, Henry, so please be home on time.
I'll try my best.
Don't miss curfew again. That's why you're sick.
That's one of the reasons.
Simple waiting with the AWP, close range. Changes it up slightly. 4 toward Monster. Edward the only one over on B at this point in time. Bit of overcommitment, you could say, to the rotation.
Yeah, they've got 4 players. A Monster, just the 1 CT. It's Edward waiting with the AUG. He needs at least 1 kill and to survive there. Not the best start, but Simple will at least find the frag on the other side of the map, and he's rotated in from heaven. He's finding absolutely everyone. What's going on here?
Wow.
All of a sudden, it turns on his head. It looked like NAVI had nothing to say in that B bomb site, but Simple hits every shot, and that is the problem with the contact play. It's all about the surprise, not telegraphing your situation, but if they do get an open read and fall player back like Simple, he's got no smoke towards heaven. He's got an open battlefield at that point. Hits every single shot, and we said what an important round that was.
We thought that was done based on that contact, and at the last second, Simple gets in the window. You're right, they had, at that point too, if you make contact, say barrels, then you're gonna throw the smokes and try and plant. They went so far in the site, they were thinking, this is clean, this is clear. And we see a replay with an advertisement, so you can kind of get the impression. But he gets in the window, and they're just standing there thinking, well, we've made it now.
Yeah.
Sorry, you haven't.
Definitely need that 1 smoke, and it might not even be enough against this guy. Simple rips off the head of Get Right there. An awkward spray from Electronic does compromise the team somewhat, but the backup comes in. Zeus with the mop up here, as he should get all 3. It's Simple to finish things off. 13-8. We did say that would be the scoreline if they gave it that previous round, just due to the fact the money is in such a dire situation. NiP, Chad's been singing their praises. He mentioned he thought they were going to be in the conversation for taking this tournament. From what I've seen right now, I would not be as excited, as this is a weak-looking NiP, and NAVI are hardly in best form right now, just running away with these pretty easy rounds, I have to say. It is going to be the force by NiP, pretty much on the last life at this point with 2 Galils, 3 AKs, 4 frags for Rez. That is not good news. He has to be one of the absolute stars at this point for NiP. Not seeing anything from him. Simple, you can see him just looking to the left. If you get flash, most Orpers will fire off that. In fact, he looks to his teammate's screen to confirm whether he got the kill. Well, many people know that's a big part of LAN. The flashbang, sure, it'll get you, but it won't get your teammates, and you can confirm frags in that sense just very quickly. So towards B they go, looking for another contact play potentially here. 4 players towards short, 1 a Monster. They are committed, and here comes the utility to back it up.
Back it up indeed. Flamey. He ain't all right, he was a lot more blind than I thought he was. Even I was misled by the spectator at that time. I thought his vision was starting to return, and he's standing there in the open with no response, but it's Simple that's left alive. 1-on-1, oh, nearly got Lekro, who jumped above the bullet. I don't think he knows that Lekro's low, because this is pistol position at this point. 6 HP, doesn't even matter. Simple stares him down. Simple does what he wants, and he'll get the round 14-8.
There's no doubt in his mind. The way he's playing, he's just like, right, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I'm going to kill you. You know you're dead. You know you're dead. And he gets him.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah,
it's like tracking him down, sneaking up on him.
You can run, you can hide, but he'll always get you. At this moment here, he's just like, well, I know exactly where you're going to be. It's whether you want to challenge me or not. Rez dead to, or Lekro, I believe, and then down he goes. Bomb planted, lost bonus racking up. I might be a maximum at this point. It's 4th stage. So Galil's once again for at least Get Right. Forest and no grenades. Rez with just a smoke. But this game might be over. NiP have a very disappointing start here in the BLAST Pro season. Remember, they got to the grand finals against NAVI last time.
Nate lands inside of the tunnel. It's like a funnel, a two-pointer from the free throw line. Something about basketball hoops and getting balls inside of them. As it's now 5-on-4. Rez will work his way in, AK-47 in hand, Flamey. Pushed off the pillar by way of a flashbang. Scopes back in, they'll bird that, but Rez, as a result, is able to get the kill. He burns alive. He steps on top of the flames. Zeus deployed, and Edward wants to just buy time, so he'll stay waiting for someone to push down the ramp. That someone is Lacro. He's gotten a kill for it. But he falls immediately after. Get right, able to trade. This is still extremely close, but Dennis waiting and catching up the rotation does give the chance to NiP. I say that, look where the bomb is. Look at Simple.
Yeah, he has full control of this situation. The fact he gets himself tucked in this corner, which I believe he'll do, is so godlike. Because how do you even preempt this? You don't know he's on this side of the map. Now, Simple, he has no problem from Heaven, from Graffiti, and he's outpositioned Dennis there. That's such a brilliant position from Simple.
And they're on fire, meaning they've got 5 rounds in a row, which means the max loss bonus for NiP, which means they better buy because it's map points. So 15 rounds at least secured for Navi. That's a point in the round robin at this point in time. I said point twice, Henry. That's not how you cast. Remember, 3 games going on at a time. 6 teams, round robin. 2 teams advance to the finals. The rest bid adieu. And this is our last event of 2018, so that would be the end of the year for them. Astralis has absolutely killed FaZe 16-14.
16-4.
The bloody... sorry, that's what I meant. 4. What the bloody hell is that? I think know. Nico made a mistake yesterday, by the way, or 2 days ago, when he said, we're sick of seeing them win. You're just going to motivate them, dude. They've just won everything. If anything, let them come off that high and accidentally fall into a false sense of security. Yep. Don't give them a reason to stay angry with you.
What was the map? Dust 2 as well. Not exactly home turf for Astralis. They're decent on it, but it's not their best. That's disappointing. An open map like that, FaZe, the firepower they have, you'd think it's all over, but this one might be as well. Simple has gutted NiP every single round of the 1v1s, the opening frags, and he opens things up and closes it out. We've got another interesting game there as well, Matt.
Yeah, the teams with stand-ins. It's MIBR versus Cloud9. It's 14-13 in favor of Cloud9, and Refresh has 28 kills.
What a god.
Standing in, first time at this level, and killing it. That's pretty sick. I'm secretly impressed. I mean, I want to see more of that. I can't wait to see what this unfolds for him. 28 kills on the other side for Cold Zero, by the way. Swag, not so much. He's sitting on 16, so is Stewie.
That's the way to put yourself in the shop window, right? No one's really expecting too much from him. We know he's a handy player, but if he can hold himself at that level, it's going to be an exciting year for him going forward. But we should focus on this. It looks like we might be done here in the 5-on-4. As we mentioned, it was just Lekro that went down early on. They've got 1 flash, 1 smoke, a Galil to break down the defense of Navi. This is where it should end. If it isn't, it'll just be delaying the inevitable. We'll see what they can do.
Get right. Might get it right. Walks over directly toward him. Missed the headshot. His crosshair placement slightly high, but makes up for it. 14 HP, down to a 4-on-4. Off shot from Simple. He's not positioned fast enough. 22 HP. I think he's going down here because the shadow shows and he's overrun. That means Dennis gets the angle and a second shot. Third from Truck. Dennis trying to do something that doesn't rhyme with Truck. He's forced to get the kill in the end, and NiP survived for 1 further to go 15-9.
It's going to take 6 in a row for overtime here. We'll see if it's possible, but this was lovely from Dennis here. They are waiting for the mistake to be made, and Electronic gave it to them. He's got a 5-on-4. Why he's going for huge flanks like that, I couldn't really tell you. They've got full control of the map. They still have 2 players at B. Should have just kept the advantage, but that's actually going to break them down to an eco here. So that 1 misplay has opened the door of opportunity. Not massively for NiP, but giving them a fighting chance, at least double digits here. No force fire required. Just Tech 9s, or CZs, I should say. And a deagle for Simple. Only from P250 as a stack towards Connector here. Lekro should get this kill, no problem. But he is by himself. And when you know you're up against a broken team, going at tight choke points like this really isn't ideal. Luckily, he detects both, and he should be fine at this point. So well played by him just to recover from an unfortunate setup. 5-on-3. Should be a converted round at this point.
Flamey, Edward, both waiting aggressively with pistols. It's crazy how you can win so many rounds in a row and yet still come back to pistols so quickly. And double digits is comeback territory. So, yeah, not done. They have to be careful with the money. That's why they've made this decision. I like smart investors, Henry.
You've got to respect it.
and find themselves in a good position in life.
This will be simple, loose it up. Not really going to find much here. The Deagle rattling off shots. Nothing connecting. I respect NiP though, just being very slow and cautious. They know one mistake can cost them this map, so have to take every sequence as it comes. You can see this is an open A site round done. It is going to be double digits, and the money's starting to stabilize somewhat. We'll see if that comes through. Just know Cloud9 have found 15 rounds against MIBR, both with stand-ins. That is a little bit unfortunate for both the teams. You'd expect a bit more from Swag potentially. That was very excited to see what he could bring to the table. It's actually kind of nuts, refresh, like you mentioned. Never even played at this level before. He's top fragging and then some on the server.
See if that's a honeymoon period, see if it's an anomaly. It's the right opponent for them to go against early on in MIBR.
It was Valence last time they had to fill in for Cloud9, so they really haven't had a good run at the BLAST Pro Series. They managed to take a couple of maps last time. That is going to be the Giant Slayers, I think, just upsetting results here or there just to mess up the leaderboard a little bit, make it interesting. But here's Simple and Flamey holding on to what they can. Double digits for NiP. Surely not enough to take us the full distance, but we'll see what they're capable of. Still not really enough money to buy though. Those Deagles, if they hadn't bought those Deagles, they would be fine here. They could actually absolutely have a full buy. Now they're going to be hamstrung as no kills were found really. Get right confirms that. Tactical timeout, and then decide, boys, we shouldn't have bought those Deagles. We've got two players that can't buy now. We had those extra $700, we'd be absolutely fine. So, maybe not the wisest of investors, it seems.
So, now we'll... Cloud9 do win, by the way, 16-14. So no tie points there. MIBR going 0-1, Cloud9. Despite taking longer to get there, on level foot now with Astralis, both of those teams in the winner column. We're still waiting to find out of these two, if either of them will end up in the winner column, really, because overtime is a possibility in this game still.
Oh, yes.
I shouldn't say, sorry, I say overtime. I say the word overtime because I'm so used to 15-15. The tie is a possibility. There is no played out overtime.
That's a good point.
Sorry.
So Navi have got 1 point on the leaderboard already locked in.
Exactly.
That's what we should say.
The question is, are they going to have two? Yeah, in my head, I do the, yeah, you get it. 15 is where we end.
They actually bought here, which is fine. It's okay. It's just like, this is how you throw the game. Buying up with not quite enough, allowing NiP to get comfortable. Round by round, they sneak in. They get to like 15-13, and he starts sweating. But we'll see. It could end here. Simple, unable to find the opening pick. Rez using his grenades to push him back. And at this point, Lekra waits out the smoke in that connector. See, they're being very patient here. Don't want to give anything up to Simple or Electronic, who could be probing for kills.
NiP. Taking at least the front of the fountain, but slowing things considerably, and we've got Electronic inside of the smoking bathrooms that could easily be a problem for them. We'll see if he's been to janitor school.
It's a difficult school to graduate from.
Usually janitors just go back to schools to clean them, so do you ever graduate?
That's a good point.
Forrest with the AWP was peering in that direction, but no such luck. They're making a lot of noise now. The ears will have perked up absolutely for Electronic. Hence, you've got to push from Zeus to cover off one side of the door, and you also have Long covered by Simple on that AWP. Zeus and Electronic, I just talked about how great their positioning was, and then they both push and get caught out. I don't understand that mentality to push when they know that there's players on the other side of that.
But wait, there is a fly in the ointment still. This man is capable of unspeakable things with the AWP. Luckily, look at the absolute bombardment of flashbangs coming through. I don't think they've got a chance in this retake now. They might have to give this one up.
I think that might have been why they pushed, because I didn't see the full timings that long, but I think they tried to catch them with grenades, waiting for the execution. So as soon as the grenades were thrown, as soon as Simple would have called that, maybe they tried to capitalize on it, but too many players there and so much uncertainty on the other side of the door, so they have to save this. You mentioned it. The forced buy-in leaves them susceptible of going back down into economic turmoil. 15-10 is now 11 for NiP, and this game is far from done.
Absolutely. Looking for 1 point on the leaderboard as well. NiP, no, that's as good as it gets. They're now 4 rounds away from that as it goes 15-11. Get right can afford to flirt with some frags here. They'll be a lot more valuable to him than they are Navi. Doesn't get anything though. He was so close on the other side. Match point still. Firepower definitely in the favor of NiP. You can see the bars filling up at the top. Now, with your Navi, I would say you probably don't want to force this one, boys. Yes, it's tempting, with the 3 weapons you have, especially the AWP, but let's look at the bigger picture. We need to win out this game. Going in with 3 rifles and a couple of deagles, spending all your cash won't be enough. And they are very wise and informed with their decision. They're just going to take a deagle. Electronic and Zeus there, a bit of armor as well, as the lost bonus racks up. You see Electronic doesn't even have his hand on the mouse right now, so that's fine. Just going to be waiting. He knows he's safe for a little bit. His teammates have stacked B. Bit of a gamble play with the rifles here. See if it works out for him. We'll take a mistake from NiP, who have not just been walking into bomb sets. They've been very methodical with their approach so far.
Flamey's going to push out. Being one of the 2 rifles, he wants to get the upper hand and try to do as much damage as he can. He'll play with Edward, so they'll put the rifles together, which amplifies the trade potential. Theirs will go to 11. Most go to 10. It's not an arbitrary scale. As Get Right clears out the underpass. Be it long as well. And then an anchor, if you want to call it that, from Lekbro. Sits to swing and decide which way to go after he clears one angle in the bathrooms. That gives a bit more room to Get Right, but already Simple backing off. This is the problem that they had last time. The smoke's going down. They could try and boost him potentially this time with so many players there early, and I think Zeus is going to do exactly that. So the AWP trying to get vision wherever vision be possible. Gets one, but he's countered out. Forrest actually got him through the wall as he was falling off his teammate's head. That's a pretty spectacular shot. As the bomb goes down once again from NiP, and already a save is looking likely. They're failing and going toward B.
Absolutely, another round of the board for NiP. It all comes down to that one crucial frag. You remove Simple from the equation. You can feel pretty comfortable at that point. It was a save round essentially for Navi. They came in with 3 rifles short, and they'll leave with that, but looks things as well. Zeus will recover the AWP. It's Flamey and Edwards that have M4s. They're looking for exit kills, but NiP getting closer and closer now to taking us the full distance. We'll see if it's possible. Reds starting to warm up now. Look quiet so far, but that's a clinical shot to take down Electronic. Looking to break the bank. But remember, they did not force buy in the previous round. They still will have cash here. So 3 weapons to survive. Well, at least that's what we think. And they will indeed. So now they can buy up around what they have left. 3 rounds to go, though. All of a sudden, this looks quite possible. As we enter round number 28. NiP still need the rest of them. But they've certainly got a bit of doubt in the minds of Navi at this point. Will they take a tactical timeout? Doesn't look like it. Oh, right at the last second. That's the best way to do it. You get the freeze time to discuss with your teammates, then bring in the coach at the 1 second mark, and you get the most out of your timeout, essentially.
And then you get freeze time reset.
Indeed.
That's why you do it.
Yep.
Just to be clear. Does mean they've already got the purchase in place, so we can certainly talk about that.
They're not going to mix things up, though, with a double AWP or anything.
No, yeah, you're right. They maybe could have justified it, but they're going to go for the all-gun Zeus. We haven't seen that in a bit. It's still going to be a full buy based on those 3 guns saving, but they need to, it's not the money that this timeout's for. It's winning the round, obviously, at this point in time. That A execution from NiP just looks so solid. They're so isolated. And credit to Forrest. We didn't see it from his perspective, but that was a lovely shot to hit because it instantly took Simple out, and they knew, all right, we're smoked out. We can't get picks. We're gone. Go to the underpass. 15-12. Trying to bring this back from what was a 59 score line. They aren't done yet, but Simple holds on at the sandbag position. In fact, stays in case there's anyone more. No one threw Monster in that time. It is... I think it's Simple position, but meanwhile it's Zeus that's actually going to hold out inside of the site. As Flamey gets Lekro, I think he's down below in this area, so he is able to swing onto the doorway. I thought he was up above for a moment, which would have been a huge problem because he had no one to support him, and they were originally heading in that direction. Dennis is well aware of the fact that he's completely surrounded. He just doesn't know where to go next.
This is it, do or die. This kill could decide the round. Flamey is going to find it with ease as well. 4-on-2, Dennis and Forrest. With less than a minute remaining, have to discuss their options here. It's certainly possible to bring this back, but look at the positioning. Simple. You know he's going to get at least 1 kill here. There's no way you can really preempt this. You can't really go in and pre-fire. There's so many options available to you on the bomb site. You've got Heaven, Graffiti, you've got the bomb site, you've got Water. Simple surely getting 1 kill here, but he fumbles it.
He went off at the exact time Forrest showed, and there was a gap in the
Okay,
smoke.
a miracle.
That might have been the kill. That is a bit of a miracle. You're absolutely right, but the electronic spins around. Forrest finds one in the middle of reloading the gun. Flamey finds the kill, so that puts